Hey, I'm Jude Matulich-Hall, and this is Titles Talking Tipples. Happy Mother's Day. This is our Mother's Day special, and I'm here with many guests. Suzanne Craig-Whytock. She was my first guest on this show. We celebrated the 1-year anniversary with her, and we get to celebrate Mother's Day with her. She's coming at us from Canada. And Bridgette Brenmark. She is in Virginia. All of you guys are on the East Coast, and I'm on the West Coast. And Bridgette is I probably have already drank too much. Bridgette is the illustrator to my novel, The Eversteam Chronicles. And Suzi Madron, oh my God, the vampire queen. And so all of these faces super familiar. Suzi's coming with us at us from Pennsylvania, right? Okay.
Yep.
And we are drinking.
Oh, yes.
So, what are you guys drinking? I have an old fashioned.
Oh,
I've
nice.
got. What do you got?
Rosé.
Oh, nice.
I've got hard seltzer, classic cola flavor.
Oh,
It tastes just like
it
just
does.
like soda.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's uncanny and it's dangerous. So, cheers.
I've got a Chilean Viognier.
Ooh.
Connoisseur bicyclette Chilean Viognier. We just had my parents over for dinner. My dad and I love this wine, so we get shared quite a bit already.
Awesome. All right, cheers.
Yes, cheers, everyone.
All right, so we're going to jump right in. You guys will get a chance at the end to plug whatever you want. But we're going to start. Okay. Number 1, pen or pencil? Go.
Neither.
Pen and pencil.
Neither.
Oh,
Depends on what I'm doing. Yeah.
okay.
If I'm drawing, pencil.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I'm writing, pen.
Okay, awesome. I'm a big pencil person. I even have pencils with the Eversteam Chronicles
Oh, nice.
by Jude on them. So big pencil person. If I'm taking notes, I do pencil. Otherwise, I'm typing away. All right. So what authors have inspired you, Suzanne Craig-Whytock?
Well, you mean in general or like recently?
Oh, whatever.
Okay, so in general, I was
yeah.
talking to somebody the other day. I was interviewed by a local radio station, and I said, like, I consider my writing a cross between like 2 biggest influences, which would be Stephen King and Shirley Jackson. So those are 2 people that I'm very heavily influenced by in terms of my own writing. In terms of what I've been reading lately, a writer that I love, Stephen Barrett, who just wrote a new short story collection called Asunder Baby. And it's just incredible. So he actually wrote the foreword to my last book. And
nice.
And yeah, and
It was a good forward.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah,
his
I read
writing is just ethereal. Like you just read it and you're like transported. He's just, I read him. I wish I wrote like him. You know what I mean? Like he's one of the few people I wish I wrote like.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So multiple choice, Bridgette. Lovecraft, Poe, or King?
Gosh dang it. I have to choose.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's so different.
I know. That's why I chose.
Like they're all good in their own way. Gosh.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's impossible. I don't even know how to say that.
Okay, how about
I
you,
love
Suzi?
them all.
Suzi, Lovecraft, Poe, or King?
Well, since King was influenced a lot by Lovecraft, it's kind of a twofer deal. So I'm going to go for Poe.
Sweet. Awesome. All right. Bridgette, another multiple choice.
Okay.
Mary Shelley, Agatha Christie, or Ursula Le Guin?
Agatha Christie.
Agatha Christie. Ding, ding, nice.
Yeah.
I
I do love the others, but
yeah. Do you have a favorite?
I just gosh, I don't know. I guess Murder on the Orient Express.
Oh, nice.
It's
Yeah,
classic.
that would be my second. I'm on ABC
yeah.
Murders.
That is
no,
really good, too.
I'm sorry. 10 little oh gosh, what's the
There's
proper term? They changed
and then there were none.
times. And then there were none.
And
Thank
then there
you.
were none, yes. Yeah.
And then there were none, yes. All right. Do you guys have favorites? A favorite Christie's? Agatha Christie stories?
Orient Express is a favorite of mine because I love the whole train vibe. I like trains. And that really cool, like, all the antiques in the scenery. But they've been remaking them with Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah.
And they're both really good. The Murder on the Nile was quite good too, I thought.
Yeah, I liked that one too.
Yeah.
Nice. And I'm not going to make you choose a favorite Poe, Suzi, because gosh, unless you have a favorite, but
Honestly, I really love The Raven.
yeah.
And I know it's like so cliche, but it's just like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That whole catchiness to it, and that it's almost like a Smith song. You know,
Yeah.
where it's got that upbeat tempo, but at the same time you listen to the lyrics and it's like, whoa.
Yeah. I think I just read Pit and the Pendulum again.
Oh, so good.
A
Yeah.
few days. So we're gonna do that for our show. And gosh, I love that one, but I don't like the ending. You know, I like I think he should have quit. There's like a little paragraph that ends it and the guy gets rescued. But it's like if he hadn't done that and just it ended like, you know, with that pendulum coming, I thought that, but I don't know. I think there was a part of
you got to end it like the Cask of Amontillado, right? Like, just like leave it just there. That's my favorite is the Cask of Amontillado.
That's a good
because the ending of that
too.
one is just like you just hear the bells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you get to each answer one. I'm going to make you do one. So you're going to a secluded place and can only take 3 books with you. So since there's 3 of you, unfortunately, I'm going to make you choose one each. So,
oh, dang.
or if you can do it fast, go ahead and name 3 books that you would take with you.
Who do you want to go first?
Oh, I don't. Suzi, 3 books that you would take with you.
Haunted by James Herbert, The Castle of Otranto by Horace Walpole, and Anne Radcliffe's Mysteries of Udolpho.
Oh, nice. That was good.
Nice.
That was fast. All right. Suzanne, since you were like, yes.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. If I can't take those ones, I would take, like I said, A Sunder Baby by Stephen Baird, Melinda Haynes' Chalktown, which is never got quite the credit it deserved for being an incredibly good book, and Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro, which is one of my favorite books of all time.
Nice. How about you, Bridgette?
Well, gosh. So I guess I would have to say The Return of the King, because if I only pick one, I can't take the whole trilogy with me, I guess.
Wait, isn't a trilogy like one book?
That's what I'm wondering. Like, does that
the version I have is all 3 of them in the same book.
I mean, but
if it
Two Towers is actually probably my favorite. So it'd have to be Two Towers. If I had to pick amongst the trilogy.
Cool.
And then Good Omens.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Neil
Yes.
Gaiman, Terry Pratchett,
Yes.
because I just think like that would make me feel good to read over and over again.
Yep.
And it's so hard to just pick only 3. Oh my word. But it's like I try to think about the books that I recommend or that I've reread, and oh gosh. So there's this book that's really kind of obscure, and it's not up here. Dang it. Okay. But I'll tell you later, but I recommend it a ton, and I've read it a couple of times and I'm just blanking right now, but it's a witch family saga book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we could always make a gesture so I can edit and you can go get
Okay.
it. Yeah. Okay, so everyone make a gesture so I know where to
I don't want
edit.
Yeah. Let me search for it. It's like garden, and it's actually in my Goodreads, so it'll probably take me about 2 seconds. But
what's it about?
So it's a witch family saga book, but what makes it so great is just that it really goes in depth about how she makes the recipes to do her magic
Oh,
things. And that's
cool.
very rare in a story, you know, for her to
Yeah.
actually talk about, no, I'm making these lavender muffins for this party and I'm putting these intentions in there to do this, that, and
Right.
the other. But then there's also like family history and mystery and yeah,
Nice.
it's yeah,
Cool.
I can find it pretty quick. I'm looking at my reads here because I don't want to missay the author's name for sure. Oh my gosh. I mean, Practical Magic was so good and
Oh, yes, such a good book.
and the prequel to that, what is it? Ways of Magic, Rules of Magic. That was really good too. Next. See, I have to go back because it's like one of the first ones I posted on here but I'm like, oh, I need to read it. Garden Spells. That's what I was like, Garden
okay,
something.
Right.
Garden Spells, Sarah Allen.
Nice.
I wonder if there's a blurb on here. Yes. In a garden surrounded by a tall fence, tucked away behind a small, quiet house in an even smaller town, is an apple tree that is rumored to bear a very special sort of fruit. In this luminous debut novel, Sarah Addison Allen tells the story of that enchanted tree and the extraordinary people who tend it. And the Waverleys have always been a curious family endowed with peculiar gifts that make them outsiders, even in their hometown of Bascom, North Carolina.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's like a small town, kind of, you know, suspicious of the witch. I could go on about it, but I won't. It's good.
Okay, so start your list over. Bridgette, 3 books
All right.
that you would take to it.
Okay.
Only 3 that you can take with you.
Okay, so I said the Two Towers, right?
Mhm.
Two Towers. Bad Omens, Neil Gaiman, Terry Pratchett, and
Wait, Good Omens?
Good Omens.
Good Omens.
Good Omens.
Oh,
Bad
you know.
Omens.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, that one.
Good Omens. Depends on which way you turn the book. And Garden Spells by Sarah Addison Allen.
Awesome. Okay, so you did Good Omens, so I can't choose Good Omens. That would have been my choice, but so I think the biggest book by Terry Pratchett, whatever that is, I gotta take Terry Pratchett with me. I don't know which one though, so can I just say Terry Pratchett?
Yes.
And
Whichever one you grab first.
there you go. Because you're running because there's a tornado coming. No, I don't know. Susanna Clark's Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Ray Bradbury's Dandelion Wine. So if we all go together to this secluded place, we'll have 6.
That'd be pretty great.
12 awesome books.
There we go.
All right. So this is, I'm really excited to hear the answers to this. What experimental aspects do you play with in your work, or do you stick to the rules? Suzi.
I hate rules.
I hate rules.
I take the rules, I look at them, and I'm like, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I hate sticking to the rules.
Any aspect that you would like to an experimental aspect?
I kind of took I like to cross pollinate between all of my series. So there's like guest appearances. So it's like
nice. Okay.
throughout, like in my short stories, and here's the Immortal War, and here's the
It's
Metatron.
the Suzi verse.
It is the Suzi verse.
Nice.
I love that.
They go into like the short stories and stuff. So you'll be reading one short story that's kind of crossing over into Lovecraftian territory, but then there's Lilith hanging out from the Immortal War series, and it just there's comedic hijinks ensue.
Okay, Bridgette, you're an illustrator. So do you follow the rules, or do you play with some experimental aspects?
Well, I actually really love playing with dimension and texture when I'm painting. So I don't like just painting a flat picture. And when I'm drawing or doing illustration, I like just putting different medium together that wouldn't necessarily go together. So
cool. And Suzanne, how about you?
There are rules.
There are rules.
I don't know. I mean, I
How-
never really think about it. I do tend to write fairly traditional narratives to a certain extent. Like Suzi, I do a lot of crossover in my work, like characters from my novels reappear in my short stories and vice versa. I've got a very kind of like a universe myself, but I think I've been starting to branch out a little bit more into prose poetry and incorporating some of that into my short stories more probably than I have into my novels. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have a degree in English literature, but I really don't pay attention to what
I love it.
other people or critics are saying, like, this is how you should write. I just write. I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm big on
Very-
formatting. Like, like my punctuation and my grammar and my formatting are good, but everything else is like, I don't know.
There, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So, where is the strangest place the muse has visited you, Suzanne?
Mhm.
The strangest place the muse has visited me?
Yeah, where you got an idea.
Well, actually, I mean, a lot of my ideas come from dreams, like nightmares. I'm a horror writer mostly, so I do have a lot of inspiration that comes from like dreams and nightmares. I like cemeteries. I don't know. But yeah, and I tend to get visited mostly at my laptop. So
Okay, yeah.
but no, I
Not
guess
very-
I have to say, like, probably like in dreams and dreams and nightmares. I wake up quite often and be like, and this is where pen or pencil, neither. I'm like writing notes on my phone at 3 o'clock in the morning, like, oh my god, I got to get this down.
Nice. Suzi, how about you?
Little Round Top in Gettysburg. I decided to play tourist one day. I went to Little Round Top and the entirety of the Megatron mysteries just like popped into my head. And the more I walked around Gettysburg, the more I was like,
Nice.
so pen in a notebook.
Pen and an open. We're circling back to question number 1. How are you, Bridget? Where's the strangest place you've...
Well, I guess being in Afghanistan, and I would have to burn the mail. And so I would sit out at night with the burn barrel, and just burn in the mail, and I would just watch the fire.
Oh, okay.
So, super good for my health, as they've discovered. The
Oh,
whole burning thing is not always great, but
Wait, did you say male or mill?
mail,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
for like...
because, for security reasons.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, burning the mail that
Yeah.
people
Gotcha.
didn't want to personally keep or whatnot.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then wondering about what was in those letters, right?
Oh gosh, I mean,
Yeah,
most of
yeah.
us, none of my business, but
Yeah. See, I'd
Yeah,
be making up
they
all
didn't-
kinds of
most
crazy
of it,
stuff.
and honestly, most of it was just empty addresses because you don't want to know
Oh,
people's
gotcha.
names or like
Yeah.
who sent it to
Sure,
them
but they
and stuff.
didn't want that
Yeah.
falling into the hands of someone that could use it.
Yeah,
somehow.
exactly. So
All right.
it was weird in that way, I guess.
Yeah.
And now I feel a story coming on about somebody who has to burn mail every day.
There you go. Where did
There you
you
go.
get your inspiration for this story? A Zoom meeting with other
Zoom meeting,
with
yes.
other creators.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I have to admit, I'm not very prepared for this next round because all I wrote was quiz them on their own work, and I have nothing written down for that. So Bridget, off the top of my head, I can remember. So there, you posted a drawing on JMH Writers and Illustrators Facebook group, and
Mhm.
I contacted you to ask if you would be an artist for my illustrations in my book. Do you remember what that picture was?
Yes, because it was actually related to the last question. It was something that I drew
Oh,
while I was in
fire,
Afghanistan. Yeah, I
Fire.
got, well, I mean, it makes sense because I got really into drawing dragons at that time. And so, yeah, it was a dragon school, dragons sitting around the fire. One of them was blowing smoke rings. Another one was, just doing dragon tricks because I thought it was amusing to think about what dragons would do on the first day of school. There was like the teacher dragon and the little student dragons.
Yes, nice. Okay, so Suzi, you've probably, let me think. Shoot, I don't have anything in front of me. I really should have prepared better. I've read both Suzi and Suzanne's stories, so I should be able to pull something out really fast, but let me think. Okay, I don't know if you'll remember this, Suzanne, but we've talked about it, so I don't know if you'll remember, but there's a story about a highway that people are driving on, and something is not seen time and time
to me,
again.
right?
Suzanne, yes,
yeah,
not
okay.
Suzi. Did I
Yeah.
say? Yeah,
Yeah.
Suzanne. Time and time again.
Landscape with the Fall of Icarus. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And what is that story about?
That story is based on, I don't know if you've ever seen that huge landscape by Peter Bruegel, the Flemish artist. And it's called Landscape with the Fall of Icarus. And it's this huge landscape with the plowmen in the front and fields and farmers and all kinds of things going on. And there's a harbor and ships in the harbor. And then very far off in the very far distance, there's a little tiny splash of water. And there's two little legs, and they're so tiny you can barely discern them sticking out of the water. And that's Icarus. And that's the whole painting is titled Landscape with the Fall of Icarus. So I thought, what about like a modernized version of that with, people driving down a highway and there's a body, but people kind of see it, kind of don't. They're not quite sure. They don't stop to investigate. They just keep going along their daily business. And I think the last line is, we all have our own places to be and we all suffer alone. Yeah. And it's that idea that's kind of based on, and that was what Bruegel was trying to say, is that, in this huge landscape, there's Icarus fallen from the sky. Everybody's just going on about their daily business. And
yeah, isn't that
the human tragedy, right?
Right.
Yeah. So that's what that story is about. Sorry. Cheerful, I know. But yeah, that's one of my favorites. Yeah.
It was the first story I read by you, and then I've had the great pleasure of reading Suzanne's book anthology that's about to come out. So she's given me a sneak.
Yeah.
And I was so happy to see that that's going to be in there.
Yeah, it is in there. Actually, it's out now, though. I don't know if you've.
Oh, it is out.
Yeah,
okay.
It's out. Yeah, we had the book launch last Saturday, actually, but it's out now. Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you. I was very excited about it.
All right, Suzi. So, I'm quizzing you on your own work, and this isn't great because, again, I don't have stuff written down. But
then go refill.
Well, we could refill, and I could do some.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do the refill.
All right, let's edit here.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Words world. Party chat. Excellent.
Okay, so I have a confession to make. I didn't do any research while you were gone, Suzi.
Starting to feel like,
but I have something in my head. Let's see if I can word it. Okay, I'm gonna make a gesture. All right, Suzi, quizzing you on your work. There's a story that you wrote that things happen. Well, let's see. There's a doorknob that moves, and the character goes to reach for that doorknob. It's a closet, and there's something in that closet, and she doesn't know what it is. The reader does not know what it is. Very creepy story. She starts to reach for the doorknob, and when she opens it, something bad happens. But that's the quiz. So, like, does that help at all?
I'm gonna say for sale or rent.
Yes. Yes.
I was like, oh man. Can I get multiple choice?
That was awesome because I was struggling. I don't know if you could tell. No,
I was struggling. I'm like,
I was like, I hope she can tell me the title of that story because I sure as hell can. That was a great story, and I don't remember what happened, but I guess you'd be giving away the end if you did bad things. Yeah,
that was like the very end of the book. I think
there was like face melting in that story. That was awesome.
Yeah,
Wow.
that one definitely went Lovecraftian.
Yeah.
Big Lovecraft.
Well, awesome. Okay, we are on oh yes. Oh, so what should I do first? Okay, so 2 more questions. And this is a Bad Juju and J-Bone question. So they want to know, what is your favorite monster? This can be in literature or movies. Late night, B-rated TV, doesn't matter. There's no limit. What is your favorite monster?
Frankenstein.
It's Frankenstein.
Frankenstein's monster.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
Lots of empathy there, yeah.
Mhm.
Do you mean monster you're afraid of or monster you like?
Doesn't matter. There's no
Because
limit.
the monster that I am most afraid of. Do you remember Pan's Labyrinth?
Yeah.
Like this-
The guy.
Yes.
That terrifies me. Oh my god, I hated that movie. It was promoted as like a fun romp through a children's labyrinth. And then we
Fantasy.
went to see
Mm-mm.
it and it was horrifying.
It's really dark.
And
Yeah.
we walked
Very.
out partway through because I was like, this is not a fun movie about a lab. Where's David Bowie? I don't understand any of this.
Oh my gosh.
And that monster, oh
Yeah.
yeah, that was. But I mean, I agree with Frankenstein's monster because there's a lot of wonderful empathy there. I mean, that's a great book altogether. Mary
Oh,
Shelley
yes.
is a
Oh,
fantastic
yeah.
writer.
Oh my gosh. The mother of sci-fi, right?
Absolutely.
Or there's
Yeah,
like
but yeah.
there's
yeah,
arguments.
The answer is yes.
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 We all
the
agree.
mother of all of it. Yes.
Yes.
Susie, how about you? Your favorite monster?
This is a tough one. I mean,
I
there's,
know,
like,
I know. It's so unfair.
you know what? It's the monster from House on Haunted Hill, the Vincent Price version,
Oh,
Ooh.
where that woman comes out of that storage closet or whatever, and
oh, I
she's
just
like,
got the chills. I totally just got the chills.
Yes.
totally terrifying. And I was like,
Yes.
clearly Marilyn Manson took a cue from this lady.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That
Yeah.
made me jump, and I don't jump
Yeah.
like that. I was crawling up the back of the chair, like, oh my god.
Mm.
That is
Hmm.
actually an interesting aspect, is like your favorite monster that you like, or your favorite monster that scares you.
Yeah.
So yeah, huh. I could have a 2-parter there, huh? You can
Yeah.
name
I mean,
2
that's-
monsters.
Okay, the two-parter would be the floating man in the House on Haunted the Haunting of Hill House.
Yes.
The tall man with the hat, with the bowler
Yes.
hat. That dude.
I've tried to watch those and I've had to turn them off.
Mm. For
They
me,
are
it's
so much.
the nurses in Silent Hill.
Oh,
creep-
those are
creep me out.
terrifying.
Just the way they move and like the editing of how they like at you. Mm-mm. Nope.
Like The Ring, right? Like the
I
girl
don't like
crawling out of the
Yes,
well.
yeah.
Oh,
The Ring was filmed here.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Let me I think it was, which Ring was it?
The Japanese one.
Yeah, Ringu.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, of course the Japanese one was not filmed here. But
Have you
That's what I
Um,
meant. The
That's
girl
Australia.
crawling out of the well in The Ring was like,
Yeah, that
that
was
is the
terrifying.
epitome of
oh
horrifying.
yeah, it was just the American The Ring
Yeah.
was filmed
Yeah.
here. Yeah. Yeah, that's always creeped me out. It was I was working in the Columbian Theater when that came out, and I I was literally like reading a newspaper, which I never do. I somehow found a newspaper and I had it open to cover the screen because it was fine. I mean, but then I went home and I'm sitting there on the couch nursing my new baby, looking down a dark hallway, and I was like getting all creeped out, and I was like, I
Nope.
have a week of this movie playing and working every night. movies playing. I can't be doing this every day of looking down this dark hallway going, oh my God, something's gonna come out of there. Yeah, so the rest of the week I was like working the movie with a newspaper in front of me so I wouldn't have to watch it.
Good plan.
But it
Good
was filmed here, so it's really cool.
And Silent Hill was based on Centralia in Pennsylvania,
Oh,
which
look
is
at this.
not too far away from here.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. If you go past at night, you can still see the mountainside glowing red. And it's still smoking.
Wow.
Oh
Crazy.
wow.
Yeah, it's a mine fire. It's never going out.
Oh wow.
It's
All
anthracite.
that underground gas. Yeah.
Well, it's all anthracite under there, so it's
Yeah.
gonna burn forever.
Wow.
I just realized, like, when in terms of my favorite monster, I think I've been rewatching Dexter,
Mm.
and as a monster, like he's pretty monstrous, but he is my favorite monster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would have to say Hannibal Lecter then. Oh,
yeah,
well,
it's kind of like along the same. Yeah,
I don't know though. Like my heart
he had
really
a soft spot for Clarice.
Bela Lugosi's Dracula is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
so like childhood like favorite monster. So that always comes up in my head
He was my
when I
first
think of it.
crush.
He was a cutie. It's like as an adult, I like look at pictures of him and I'm like, man, Bela Lugosi was hot.
Yes.
Apparently, a lot of ladies thought so back then too.
Apparently. And as for scary monsters, oh my gosh. I don't even know. I mean, we've kind of talked about The Ring. Anything with that you can't see their face. I'd rather see their gruesome face than to have the face of
Yep. Again, that's why the nurses with the bandages.
Yes.
And
anything that walks kind of backwards and upside down, like
yeah.
Oh, when they distort their bodies and
yeah, it's
Yes.
like their bones are broken in the wrong place. It's like,
yeah,
you can almost hear it crackling. While
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm hearing it right now. Oh yeah.
All right, so that's our quiz. Do you guys have any questions for me?
What are you working on right now?
Oh my God, my second novel still. So my publisher wanted me to write an epic fantasy. So I was aiming for 180,000 words or more. Let's see, I got to 160,000 words.
That's
awesome.
and
found myself like, oh, this is a good ending, but there'll be a book after this. But then like I had written as fast as I could for the first time in my life. So I was like, if I got stuck in a spot, it was like, it was just some arbitrary, like, how long do I give myself? I'm stuck at the scene. I don't know what to do. Ding, 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 ding. And I don't know, whatever. So, and it was like, okay, move on. So I would jump to the next thing and continue writing. So it was just this practice of going forward. Do not look back. I am never writing like this again. I have to say that right now. I will never write like that again because going back is so difficult. I don't know how you guys feel, but going backwards has been the hardest thing. I've been stuck on a scene for 6 months. And I've been stuck on this scene forever because I finished and then I went back and I'm trying to create this relationship and I can't seem to do it. And I'm like, if I just done it when I had the idea, it would have been fine. I feel like it would have been fine. I mean, there were times, right? I mean, it took me 4 years to write my first one. So it was like, if I got stuck, I would just stay there and wait
work through it.
and work through it. I don't know if there's much of a difference. Like it's taking me I'm on year 2 and I've decided that I'm not going to do an epic fantasy. I'm going to release it in 3 books. And when I get to the 3rd book, we'll go ahead and put one big book out in hardback. And that will be the epic. I mean, it's just all these definitions that people have. People love epic books. They love big books. I'm like, no, that's not what I'm hearing. People like fast short, they pick up a book like this,
Mhm.
they're like, that's like marriage.
A commitment. Yes, a commitment.
So I'm like,
Yeah, and people want to know what happens next. Like,
right. So luckily, out of that endeavor, I have at least two separate books.
Oh, that's good.
So
Yeah.
I am currently working on the first part, and it does take place in the Eversteam universe, but
Oh.
it's the unreality that humans call it unreality. The Fae call it Un. It's an actual separate planet than Earth, but it's like parallel universe, and I'm writing about them and how they get to Earth, and the events leading up to the Eversteam Chronicles. So this is 300 years prior to my first book. I'm still
Wow,
working on
cool.
it. Still, I think it's actually been 2 years. So, yeah. Okay, so you guys, what are you working on? There you go. That's you each get like a quick, like 1 minute, go for it. Suzanne, what are you working on? And what do you want to promote? It's up to
A little
you.
bit of both. So my new short story collection, At the End of It All, was released in February. It's available through Potter's Grove Press, but it's available on Amazon dot whatever, because it's available on all the Amazons. At the End of It All. The sequel to The Seventh Devil, the second book in the Seventh Devil trilogy, is out with Bookland Press this summer. The Georgian translation of my first novel, Smile, will be out also early summer.
Oh, wow.
I just finished my new book, Charybdis, based on the title references the water pool monster from Homer's.
Oh yeah, I was going to say
but it's about a reclusive poet and the grad student in the present day who's researching her, and that's out. It's with a publisher right now, so I'm hoping to hear back soon. But that's about it right now. Just I'm going to start working on the third book in the Seventh Devil trilogy really soon, and
you're on fire. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I'm also the editor of Dark Winter Literary Magazine. Don't forget, our submissions reopen on June 1st. We take poetry and short stories under 2,000 words. Nice. And we've been very fortunate to have such incredible submissions that we've had to close subs twice now, because we've been looking so far ahead with really great stuff from, like, not just Canada, but also international writers emerging and established. So if you know anybody who's interested in getting their work out there, we're always looking for people. Starting June 1st, we'll be reopening our subs.
Wonderful.
Oh yeah, please do. Absolutely.
Hi, Suzi.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, go online. It's www.darkwinterlit.com. You can check it out and see our sub guidelines and all that. Yeah.
Nice. Suzi, that looks like something. So tell us.
I was volunteering to submit.
Absolutely. Please do. Would love to have you. Yeah.
I'm currently editing for a small press in the States, down in Virginia. And so that's what's been keeping me up most nights. But then I've got something under consideration where it's 2 novella style short stories, but they're happening simultaneously. So I'm trying to figure out how to format that to go into a book. So that's one of the things I'm working on. And then I've got the Megatron 5, The House in the Circle and the Square, and Lost Signal Dead Air anthology, a collection of short stories that are all interrelated.
Oh, very nice. And those are currently available?
No, they're under production right now.
Oh, very nice.
The rest of my stuff is available. The For Sale or Rent is available.
Very good story.
The Watershed is kind of like a sister story to that one.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Immortal War series, the Metatron mysteries. If you like comedy that's really dark and kind of occult, the Metatron mysteries. If you like vampire gothic horror, the Immortal War series. Nice. And all points in between with the short stories.
Very good. Bridgette, how about you? What are you up to?
Gosh, so I have been finishing up for forever my book Haunting Melody, which is a workbook for writing spooky music. And so it's low on the story writing, but there still is some story in there, but it's a lot of music exercises and illustrations. And so illustrating my own book has just been crazy, but we're getting there.
So this workbook helps people to write music.
Yes.
And it teaches people how to do so.
Yes. And it's also spooky drawings and reading a spooky journal with sort of a Lovecraftian bent, because you're reading the journal of Melody Zahn as she's trying to rescue her dad, which you can only assume is Eric Zahn from the other dimension, which of course requires music to do. So you're trying to figure out how to write some music that's going to open the portal and whatnot. So
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it's almost
That's
done.
Great. I'm so
Thank you.
excited.
Soon. It's like going to go to production so soon, but it is already on my website. So for pre-order. So hopefully very soon it'll get actually printed.
Right.
We're so close.
And you make some funky little boxes that people can
I do make some creepy music boxes, yes, on my website. Music boxes of the macabre. It's all music composed by me, little snippets, spooky boxes. So yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Wow. So writers, illustrator, yeah, and you create music boxes. Yeah, you're a composer too.
Yeah, composer and artist is what I usually refer to myself as. I don't know why I got tongue-tied just then.
That's great. No,
I don't know who I am. Do we all really?
Do any of us know? All right. Well, thank you so much. We don't have to end here, but I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do the outro so that it's done, because I don't want to forget to do the outro. So let's go ahead and do the outro. So this has been Titles, Talk, and Tipples. I'm Jude Matulich-Hall, the author of the Eversteam Chronicles. With me, Suzi Madron, Bridgette Brenmark, and Suzanne Craig-Whytock. Thank you so much for joining me. If you guys, I don't know if you remember how to take us out. I don't know. Go for it. You want to take us out?
Don't forget to like,
subscribe,
and share. And don't forget to leave comments down below.
All right, so one thing I did forget was that we didn't talk about momhood. So I mean, I can always fit this in somewhere.
Yep, the magic of editing.
Right.
My child wants to be on TV.
Your child? How old is your child now?
He is.
Oh, hi.
Hello, child.
My God, you've grown like a foot since last
Right?
your mom was on the show. Do you remember me?
Probably do. You were little.
And I don't expect you to. That's okay. So, what's it like having a writer for a mom?
Well, pretty normal if you ask me.
Pretty normal. Okay. Do you ever give her ideas?
Yes.
Oh,
Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes if I'm out on the porch writing with him, then I get stuck on something. I'll be like, what do you think about this scene? And he'll be like, what if you added this?
Nice. Very good. Yeah. I think my child brought out a lot of creativity in me. How about you, Bridgette? Does your child... what's it like trying to be an illustrator and creating this book and a composer and all that, an artist?
Well, I am blessed in that my child is now off at college. But he is my spawn, is my best editor, supporter. Nice. I honestly run things by them all the time. So just it's great because they don't pull punches.
Yeah.
And it helps me a lot. But
Right.
been a big inspiration, and like being able to reach that generation as well. Yeah.
Yeah, because your book is adults or children can learn to write music. How I know the answer to this, I just don't remember off the top of my head. Like the youngest person that you've taught to write music.
About 10 years old.
Okay, yeah. 10-year-old composer. Nice.
Yep. Yep. I think people underestimate in a lot of ways what children can do, but
Right.
and it's not necessarily about creating music, because I think children can do that from even younger, but actually being able to capture it and write it down, about 10. Yeah.
Nice. Very cool. So Suzanne, what's it been like? You've been writing for a long time.
Yeah.
And I mean, just motherhood, writing, children.
I've been really lucky because I have a very literate daughter who loves to read as well. And she's one of the first people I use as a beta reader. She's really astute. She will tell me, like, and she's good at pointing out flaws in logic and things like that. Like, you said this here, but like later you said that. So she's good at vetting those kinds of things. I've actually dedicated a couple of things to her. My first short story collection was dedicated to her. In fact, she did the interior artwork for the first short story collection, and helped out a little bit with the second. So she's had kind of a big role in some of my projects. So the front cover of The Dome, my second novel, was actually she started rendering that, like, as well. And she couldn't finish it. She was at school and she got too bogged down. But yeah, she's always the first person I'm like, can you read this? Tell me what you think. Like, I'm lucky. I've got lots of great, like my husband, my mom is like exceptional. She is 81 years old. She was a legal secretary when she was younger, and she reads every single word. And she will tell me. Even when I post my blog every week, she'll call me. She's like, "You had a little spelling mistake in the second paragraph." Like, she's so good. She catches things I've never even seen. So I'm lucky that I've got somebody who vets the content and the logical progression, somebody who vets like the spelling and grammar. And I've got my husband who's just like, yeah, it was great. I loved it. When's the next chapter coming? I can't wait. So I'm very lucky that way. Yeah.
That's wonderful, because line editor, like line editors hardly exist anymore.
Yeah.
Like you have people that are like, yeah, I'm an editor, but they're only looking for flow and storyline and pieces fitting together. But as for like line editors, I don't think they exist anymore. My book was a prime example of that. There were a couple misspellings that somehow I missed, and an apostrophe S that didn't belong, I mean, and I hear about it from a lot of people of like, and I read books and I'm like, how was that double which is an easy mistake to make.
Yeah, no, that's my mom. She's the line reader.
Line editor. Oh, I'm so jealous.
Yeah. So Caitlin does the content and the flow, and my mom will tell me if there's an apostrophe out of place or if there's a period that shouldn't be. She will tell me the spelling is wrong. Yeah, so she's great for that. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, I'm lucky.
Yeah, I got stuck on page 50 of my first novel and didn't know what to do, because I went back and read it and was like, this is the most boring thing I've ever read.
No.
And my kids started talking about steampunk and all those, and I was like, what is this? And then I started looking into it, and it totally broke open the rest of it. And I went back and rewrote it and just kept going. Yeah. So my kid saved my first book. That's great. Well, awesome. All right. Well, I'll fit that in somewhere. Thank you so much, you guys. We can keep chatting if you want, but we're also done if you want to be done.
Well, it's 8:30 here, my time. It's bedtime.
So as a parent, as a mother, raising a kid, I mean, some of us, our kids are adults now. But I mean, I don't know about you, but my 21-year-old still lives at home. So, but this is also, you can reflect back too, of like your pressure release. What is your pressure release as a mother, as a creative? How did you deal with things? How do you deal with things? For me, I'm just gonna throw out there yoga, meditation, And I am not afraid to admit the occasional booze. As long as it's, I always kept it within reason. I always keep it within reason. But, unkept within reason, it can be very medicinal. How about you guys?
I mean, right now my son is 11 and he's in middle school. So I find that like my pressure release is we chat together and just like hanging out with him while he's
Yes.
playing and stuff. Because he's got Magna sticks, and so he goes out and he like has this whole story that he plays all over the floor.
Oh, nice.
And then when you step on one of those little buggers, it's just
Oh.
like the swearing that ensues. It's like Legos, but worse. Because it's
Oh,
all ball bearings and Tinker toys. And I'm just like, why did they make this worse?
then worse than
But,
Legos.
Yeah, so I'll go out and I'll hang out with him, and it's my favorite room in the house. It's nice and sunny. It's got all my plants and everything in it. And so that's like my decompression chamber. And he'll come and he'll talk to me about his day and about the stuff he's facing. And so just being able to help him deal with his stuff helps me to kind of have my pressure release valve, because it's like, okay, I can kind of take all of this and just forget about it, and then just focus on this like one very tiny little thing that it's just his middle school angst.
Yeah. How about you, Bridgette? Your pressure
Gosh.
release.
So I think it changes over time, but right now what has been helpful for me is sourdough
Nice.
because
Yeah.
I know that it's something that I'm gonna do on the weekend. It doesn't have to be the same thing that I make each weekend, but it's just kind of been a grounding thing, if that makes sense, to just
Yeah,
know that it's
absolutely.
something a little bit to look forward to on the weekend. And I know that it's something that if I invest in it every week, it's going to keep going. And so that's just been a helpful thing. And when there's an amazing bread that comes out of the oven and I can eat it, that's rewarding. So
That's nice. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Great. How old is your kid?
uh 20 in June.
Oh, okay.
So
All
almost
right,
one.
yeah.
Yeah. But took a gap year after high school and lived with us for a while. So this has been the first year in a while that he has lived away. And so I have definitely been dealing with that kind of empty nester, just kind of lowness.
Yeah.
And there were things that we would always do, like go get boba tea or like just things. And so, yeah, and that way too, like having some kind of little project that has nothing to do with work or my own projects
Oh gosh,
each
yeah.
week to just
Mhm.
kind of be a grounding project to look forward to has been helpful.
Yeah. How about you, Suzanne? So your kid has been an adult for a while, just
Yeah, she has.
5 years, 6 years.
Yeah, but she's only been out of the house. It was funny because she moved out for university. So spent her first year, second year, third year, most of fourth year away from home, just coming home on the weekends. But then, of course, with COVID, the school sent everybody home. So she spent the last year and a half of university, because she did like her fourth year, then another semester at home. I got really used to having her around. And then she went off to college to finish up. She has a degree in a bachelor of science degree. And then she went to college to become a veterinary technician. So now she's living an hour and a half away at college. And so that was rough. And then she was home for a little bit and then back again, for a second year. And now she's looking at going to Kingston, which is about 3 hours away from here, to do an internship there. And then hopefully getting a job there where her boyfriend lives. And so it's been, I've been struggling a little bit with that, like being an empty nester for a little bit, but she was close by, and then having her home, and now looking at her being quite far away, because she is my lifeline. As I said before, I've dedicated a couple of books to her, and she's been a big support to me in my career. We just had a book launch for my last short story collection. She got up and made a speech, and And it was
Oh,
really, it was
nice.
so nice. Yeah, she called me Suzanne. It was so cute. She's like, when you read Suzanne's writing, and I'm like, oh, she's so sweet.
That's
Yeah, no,
awesome.
it's lovely. I mean, she's really important. She's my only, right? And,
Sure, yeah.
yeah, and she's really an important part of my life. So that's been a bit of a struggle. I tend to, when I'm feeling really stressed, I tend to like immerse myself either in writing or wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Writing and wine.
Finding
Yeah.
a good series on TV. My husband and I both love Drag Race, like drag and that kind of
Yeah.
thing. So we watch a lot of drag. We go to a lot of
That's
drag
great.
shows, and yeah, we're just at drag story time. I think we were saying before, drag story time at the local library, and saw like a really nice big drag show here in Kitchener nearby here. So we kind of do that, get out. But we're planning a cruise soon, like we're going away.
Oh, nice.
For
Where are you
our
gonna
first-
go? Do you know?
Yeah, it's France, Spain, and Italy. We already have the whole thing booked.
Nice.
It's our
Oh my
our
gosh.
first big trip in years, because of COVID, right? So it's
Right.
our first really big trip, and yeah, so it's just things get pretty hectic around here with work and writing and the literary magazine, and yeah, but
Yeah, you could work forever if you
really
didn't,
could, yeah.
you really have to have those boundaries of like, and I'm learning that. Like I work
Yeah.
all the time because of my script writing and novel
Yeah.
writing and my real
Yeah.
job. And it's just like, yeah, I need to just purposefully take time off.
Yeah.
Because it won't happen by itself. Or
Yeah.
or I'll get sick and then I'm forced
Well, you don't want to do
be
that.
down.
Yeah.
And that's what happened this past winter was like we had 3 big flus or whatever. I never tested positive for COVID, but they were really bad colds that each
This is bad, right? Yeah.
and I was like, I had one in October that lasted 3 weeks, and then like 2 weeks of like a break, and then I caught another, and that lasted 3 weeks. So it was like October, November, December, into January, because it was like the end of December into January.
Well, I took
New
6
Year's
weeks
Eve, we were
off though in January, like from the job I have now. Like I just said to them, I need time off. I need to write. So
Yeah.
because I wasn't able to do it, and it was killing me because working
Mhm.
3 days a week and then doing everything else, I had no time to sit down and just write. So I said I need at least 6 weeks, if not 2 months off.
Yeah.
And they made me quit.
That's awesome.
Like, sorry, we can't hold this. I said, okay, fine, I quit.
Okay, that's great.
And so, yeah, so I spent 6 weeks writing, and it was brilliant. And I wish I could do it forever.
Wow,
Because it
yeah.
was every day I got up, puttered around, did a little jigsaw puzzle, maybe read a little bit, then sat down at the computer, wrote 2,500 words every day.
I'm
and it was
so
That's awesome.
It was
Wow,
the
yeah, that is
best because
great.
I'm retired otherwise, right? And
Yeah.
it was the best. So now I'm gonna have to do that again as soon as my daughter's like financially stable.
Right.
Yeah, totally
You're
gonna
gonna
do
write.
that. Yeah, I'm gonna do
Yeah.
that. Just sit down and write. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I'm trying to schedule myself because I'm like physically like sitting, like the last year like killed my body of like the last couple of years of just sitting and writing like 8, 10, 12 hours a day, like killed my body. I was like, I can't do that. I cannot write full time. So I made the conscious decision. I am a part-time writer. I am not a full-time writer. I stand when I practice the violin now. It's like,
Wow.
do not. And it's like, it's just so weird. It's like, I want to sit, it's like, but I know what that's going to do to me. So I'm definitely a part-time writer, part-time musician, part-time yogi. So everything's part-time, but it's a lot.
It's a kaleidoscope.
It's a kaleidoscope, but I'd rather do that than like be at a
Oh,
desk all
yeah.
the time.
Oh yeah.
And I'm
that's the
actually
killer.
like,
Yeah.
we have a new kitten that I don't know if you guys have ever used laser pointers with cats, but
Yes,
I
it's
always
so
learned,
much fun. Yes.
I learned that it makes them neurotic. So we've never been big on the laser pointer, but this kitten, like my what do you call it? The mouse, the cursor is like this bright green arrow on mine, and she is obsessed with it. Like she knows, like if I sit down, we've had her for less than a week. We've had her for like 5 days. But the moment I sit down, if she's not zonked out sleeping, she runs up, jumps on my lap, crawls up and looks, and because she knows that cursor is going to be there, And so I'm like, this is and she walks across my keyboard, and I'm like,
So
oh
sweet.
shit,
So
this is
sweet.
not good. It is super sweet, but it's like I'm recognizing like our other cat is not a lap cat, so he does not jump up. And so I'm used to that, but this cat is definitely a lap cat. And I'm like, this isn't gonna work. Shit, what am I gonna do? So I made this little in my I have a yoga room where I yoga and meditate. And my husband made me a table that I can sit on my meditation cushions. So he actually made it the perfect height. And I'm going to move my computer up there because it has a door I can close. This does not have a door. This is just a part of the living room that my desk separates it from the living room. And so my yoga room actually has a door. So I'm going to be moving my computer up there so I can actually close the door on the kitten. And so I'm hoping like that's going to be the answer, because I've been like dead in the water for 6 months on my novel. Yeah. It's all
I feel
good.
that.
Once it is done, it's going to be like, oh, that was great, but it's just getting there, the finishing something. That's huge.
It's kind of nice to hear that I'm not the only one too. It's just kind of had
I
a
don't
really
think
like
so.
winter. Like this winter has been hard
Oh yeah.
for some reason.
Oh yeah. I could sleep and binge watch. I binge watched You, which wasn't even that good.
No, I mean
it was, but then like the third season, I literally like it was all drama, and I'm not into drama. So I was like literally fast forwarding through scenes. I'm like, fast forward every sex scene. They've already had sex. I've seen them have sex. I don't need to see them have sex 12 more times.
That's funny.
So, and then, or like arguing about being married to each other. I'm just like, oh my God. So season 3, I don't know if you guys, I don't want to spoil anything if you guys are watching.
For me, it was Dark and then Lucifer. And so now I just am in like this profound state of like questioning existence. That's where I'm stuck at now after those 2 shows. I'm just like, is it even real?
That's a great question to ask though. I mean, that's, no.
They were both so good. They were both so good.
I've been watching.
I seriously cried for like 2 days after Lucifer was over.
Oh, it was such a good show. It was nothing like the comic book.
Which one are you talking about, Lucifer or the other, Dark?
Lucifer.
Dark was a good one too.
Okay.
Yeah, I love
that kind of like unraveled towards the end. Like all of a sudden, it was just like time travel, and I'm like,
okay.
Have any of you watched You?
No,
I've been watching those movies and ghosts.
Okay. I highly recommend it, but I mean, it's like you can. I usually read the end credits. I'll sit through the end credits and like read who wrote it, who directed it. Each season completely different. Like I'm pretty sure without looking, I could say these were different writers every single season, different directors, unless they had the whole thing planned from the beginning. Each season is completely different. It is about a serial type killer. It's been compared to Dexter, psychological weirdness. And then season 3, I was like, oh, what the fuck are they doing? Just fast forwarding, like just stopping and I was able to follow the whole season, fast forwarding through most of it and just stopping and listening to a couple sentences and then, okay, what's happening in this scene? Okay, fast forward. Season 3 was so boring. Season 4 got better. But season 4 was like a murder mystery. And it was like, whoa, they totally like went from serial killer to Agatha Christie style British murder mystery. It was even
interesting.
4th season even took place in England. So yeah.
Have you seen Rise of Empires yet?
No, I haven't.
The latest one they just came out with was the Ottoman Empire, Mehmet versus Vlad. And it's Mehmet the Conqueror versus Vlad the Impaler.
Whoa. My God, eh?
Really?
Oh my god, yeah. It's so
Nice.
good. I started watching Mehmet versus Vlad and then ended up catching season 1,
Oh.
which I was like, okay, I didn't realize I was watching season 2 first and then season 1, but season 1 Mehmet introduces the rolling scaffolded cannon
Ooh,
that he
nice.
just aims at Constantinople and just starts firing. And
Mm.
it's amazing. So they go into his like war strategies and stuff like that. And I'm like, this
Wow.
dude was either absolutely insane or a genius, and I can't decide
Sure.
which one.
Probably both.
Yeah, like he took his boats across land to come in behind the Roman vessels so that they wouldn't catch him, because he couldn't go through like the one main area. There's this giant chain that blocked all the ships if they didn't want them to come into port. So he was like, well, fine, we're just going to go over land. And so they cut down a bunch of trees and just like rolled them across the
Oh my
mountain.
gosh. Wow.
And all of a sudden the next morning they wake up and there's all of the Ottoman Empire ships behind them.
So what is that called?
That is that's Rise of Empires,
Rise
the
of-
Ottoman Empire.
Mm.
Okay.
And so Mehmet versus Vlad is Vlad the Impaler versus Mehmet the Conqueror. And that one I was absolutely sucked in, because I mean, who
Right.
doesn't love Vlad?
Yeah.
Which it's interesting because they really kind of go into him a little bit more, and I was like, this dude was also kind of a crazy genius.
Yeah. Well, you only know so many
Biological.
things about Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah.
I mean, the Impaler, right?
He impaled.
Like he impaled.
Well, I mean, he impaled, but
Yeah.
he learned that from the Ottomans. So I was just
Exactly.
like, okay, so there's that. But then he
Yeah.
also, during the time that he was fighting with the Ottomans, and Mehmet in particular, he actually opened up all of his jails and stuff, knowing that these prisoners had plague, and released them onto the Ottoman troops.
Oh, geez.
And I was like,
Wow.
I was like, oh, geez. So it's like, you know, you see like the people like coming through the night and they've got all the boils and everything, and I'm like, oh no, the plague.
Mm.
So yeah, spoiler alert.
Yes.
Spoiler alert, the Titanic
It's
sank.
just- yeah. I was gonna say.
Soylent Green is people.
Yeah.
Oh, the greatest
Yeah.
people. Yes. Oh my gosh.
They blew up the planet and Planet of the Apes. All the secrets.
All the spoilers. Oh, this has been awesome talking to you guys.
Yeah,
It's getting pretty
thank
late
you.
for you.
That's been really
Oh
nice.
my gosh, I'm
Yeah.
fading like a flower.
Yeah. I'll let you guys go. Thank you so much. This is so awesome. I
Great.
love this.
Thank
I
you.
hope- You're welcome.
Really nice
So much
meeting
fun.
everyone.
Oh, it's great to meet
Yeah.
all of you as well.